Hello, my name is Dr. Scott Young with Hearing Solutions Centers, and today we're going to talk about the Smart Swab. Coming right up. Okay, so we get this question all the time. How do I clean out my ears at home? And I say, well, there's a couple methods. First off, there are some really easy methods that you can do. We have them here. They're like $11. You can get them at different places, but it's called Audiologist Choice Earwax Removal. So you put the drops in your ear, let it stand there for about 5 minutes. I always say 5 drops, 5 minutes in your ear, lean over, and then go in the shower and kind of flush it out. You can do it over a sink, but it's just as easy to go in a shower. And you're going to flush out all the stuff out of your ear. So what happens is companies come out, and there's this thing called the Smart Swab. Now I bought it online. Okay, I normally like you to buy things in town, but I want to show you a little bit about this. And I'm going to kind of put some pictures here a little bit. But basically what happens is they have this little piece, and there's a rubbery little piece, and I kind of come up there a little bit so you can kind of see it. Okay. And this rubbery piece, what you do, and I'm going to show you basically what happens that people do. Don't do this at home, okay? And they'll get in there and they'll kind of swab out any wax. But what happens is there's two problems with this. Number one, it may push in the wax in your ears. And it, frankly, I'm going to tell you many times it does. Number two, it won't do a dang thing. So what happens is that it gets in there and then just bends sideways. And we see all these companies. By the way, it gives you a whole bunch of different tips in there and all this kind of silliness here. But the reality is it's a screwdriver-ish kind of thing. Now, what is it going to try to hope to do? It's trying to dig into the wax and pull it out of your ear. And the answer is it's not going to do it. We see people, we've had just recently, in the last couple months, and we're in January of 2020 or 2021, and we've had people do it and there's red and bloody ears. Okay, really, do you want to do that to your ear and cause a scab? We've had one guy that further irritated his ear so deeply and has a huge ear, he shoved the wax down there deeper. This kind of stuff is silliness. And I'm just going to say, do you really want to hurt your ears? Do you really want to shove it down deeper where it's harder for an audiologist or an ear physician or a general physician to go out and do the wax removal for you? Do you want to make it tougher? See, when you start pushing it down, and because most people do, they kind of push it down, or they use Q-tips and they push it down and they push it down farther, and then they can kind of feel it. And as you feel it, what you're doing is touching into the bony section. And if you're touching in the bony section with a big clob of wax, you're going to start pushing on the eardrum, and then you're going to feel the pain even more. And one of the biggest pains you'll ever feel is poking right through the eardrum. And I've had tons of patients do this. Do you really want to do it for the 5-second removal that you think might be happening? Okay? I mean, listen, I've taken more than 15 to 25,000 impressions. I've lost track of ears. I've had all kinds of things happen to me, okay? And yet, I won't do it in that way. When we take out wax, we do it professionally, whether we're using a curette to pull that stuff out, a specific one that's made for audiologists, or we're doing what's called an EARIGATOR, which is flushing out the wax. You want a professional doing that. We're happy to do that for you, okay? And just so you know, it's $50 for the wax removal, okay? It's not something that's gonna kill you, but we've had people come in here all the time and love it. The very first person I ever did this on, we actually have a vat of water. It's about this big. I think it's maybe a gallon or something like that of water, and you use distilled water, and we're flushing out the ear. I went through 3 different bats of gallon of water and finally got her ear flushed out. She was like, holy cow, and she could feel it, and all this bunch of wax came out. And she was like, that's the easiest job I've ever had. I'm thinking, this is the hardest job I've had to do to get the wax out of her ear. But the reality, what she was talking about, is it never hurt her compared to other ones. So don't hurt yourself by going to this kind of stuff, okay? Do the real job and flush out your ears, because you don't want to hurt your eardrum. You don't want to hurt your ear canal. You don't want to create a scab, and you also don't want to have tympanoplasty surgery to fix it. Okay? So thank you so much for listening. Like, subscribe, ask some questions. Happy to do it. We'll talk to you later.